I asked her that one day, point blank. I said, Mom, was Ted D.B. Cooper? And I was like, I'm bated breath. I said, what'd she say? She said, yes, he was. She said the only problem is when I asked her that, she was kind of in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. So it was kind of a letdown. But I think she truly believed he was. And Ted had all the bona fides. Remember, he's Special Forces in Vietnam. No one knew that you could jump out of a 727 other than elite Special Forces guys in Vietnam. Because the 727 that D.B. Cooper jumped out of had an aft stair, the staircase that lowers in the back. And very few people, that was very top secret information that you could jump out of a plane like that. And they were doing it over in Vietnam with Air America. And they were, that was an easy way to get guys in and supplies because they weren't expecting anyone to be, men jumping out of a jet at that time was not heard of. But they knew that plane could do it. That particular Boeing 727 had an aft stair. And when Cooper tried to take off after he landed in Seattle, when they brought him his money and his parachutes, he said, I want you to take off with that stair down from the ground with the stair in the down position. And the pilot said, no way. It can't be done. The pilots truly believed that couldn't be done. Cooper knew it could. So there was an argument that ensued between D.B. Cooper and the pilot. And the pilots, eventually Cooper relented because, the main reason Cooper did it is because he didn't want to have to worry about getting that stair down mid-flight, which he did. He needed the help of the stewardess to pull a handle or doing something like that because, he was probably used to jumping in Vietnam or something or he just knew that it could be done. And Ted Braden still knew people back in Vietnam. So he was such a good skydiver. All he had to do was have the knowledge. But D.B. Cooper knew the plane better than the pilots because he knew he could take off with that stair down. And, it tells you a lot. This guy's got connections back to Special Forces. And, like I said, Braden just had it all. He's calm. He knows if he gets caught, he's probably going to get let off again. That's why he's so calm. And as far as the D.B. Cooper sketches go, Braden's a dead ringer. The most overriding physical feature that any witness that said that was on the plane from Portland to Seattle. Of course, they didn't know. None of the passengers knew the plane was being hijacked. By the way, they were asked about it after the fact. This mysterious guy that was in the back, so he never said, "Hey, I'm hijacking." They had no idea what was going on when they got all let off. They only found out when they departed the plane in Seattle. But anyone that said they could remember what he looked like said that he was swarthy. Or had swarthy skin. He had dark skin. He was a white male, but he had this dark skin. And I have a photograph of Ted Braden with his mother from 1975. It's the closest one I have of Braden to the hijacking. And he's got that dark skin, especially in contrast to his mother. And he's got that look. And, he's a dead ringer for the sketch. Some people say Braden was a little too short by some of the witnesses' accounts. It had a Cooper as high as, 5'10", 5'11". Ted Braden was 5'8", but he could have easily disguised himself, made himself look taller. But he had everything else going for him. Everyone said D.B. Cooper was middle-aged. Ted Braden was 44 years old at the time of the skyjacking. He just, in terms of being able to jump out of a plane, there was no one better. Here's an actual ad. I'll read it from Ramparts that Braden actually put an ad in the San Francisco Chronicle, and it read like this: mercenary soldier, 14 years military service, available for position immediately. Qualifications: 101st Airborne Division, World War II, master parachutist, 911 log jumps, including 695 free falls, ex-lieutenant and ex-sergeant. U.S. Army, operated in 4 countries in Southeast Asia and 2 in Africa. Experience in use of U.S. weapons, demolitions, sabotage, infiltration. Specialty is training and directing hunter-killer teams. 23 months of jungle operations in and out of Vietnam. Willing to organize and or direct insurgency or counterinsurgency teams, whichever is appropriate, to non-CIA supported employer. References can be checked with U.S. Army, U.S. Special Forces, CIA, and 5 Commando. He says, check with CIA about him. That's an actual ad he put out wanting to fight. This guy was different.
You got to wonder why he was looking for work, because they got recruiters. Nowadays, they got recruiters looking for guys like this out there. Well, let me ask
he was literally crazy. He had no fear of death. He had no fear of death. He had no fear of apprehension by the authorities.
How did he die?
We don't know. We don't really know exactly. I think I don't know if he was sick, but it's really quiet. It's in terms of the D.B. Cooper world, that's not too unusual, because if anybody of all the known candidates for D.B. Cooper, he's the only one that the CIA/FBI would want to protect because he knew too much about their operations. And I talked to some ex-Vietnam guys. One guy said he got sent away from Vietnam and was in another country with the Army, and he remembers them coming up to the unit saying, "Is any of you here? We know some of you were already in Vietnam. Did any of you know Ted B. Braden?" The guy raised his hand. He said, "I met him a couple of times, and I'm familiar with him." And they walked up to him and said, "Don't ever mention his name again. Like, you don't know him." I mean, it left an indelible impression on this guy. Like, man, they don't want anyone knowing about him. And
is it possible he could have faked his death and they covered up for him?
I don't know. He was older at the time.
Okay.
Of course, he was born in 1928, so I don't think so. I think he drank quite a bit. I think, he fought a lot. I mean, he was in Vietnam for 23 consecutive months. I mean, he probably caught up with him. I think it just did. I know he was cremated, but don't even know what happened to him after that. His own stepdaughter didn't even know. His own stepdaughter didn't even know that Ted Braden had 2 biological children.
Wow.
And he was married to her mother for years and years. I mean, it was a really tumultuous relationship, and they were estranged for a good period of that time, but it was still legally married. They never got divorced. And she was shocked. And that's really one of the only reasons she even bothered to talk to me, is because I said, "Hey, did you know he had 2 biological children?" And that got her attention. And she couldn't believe it. Altair, his jumping partner that knew his second wife very well and lived with her, and this was from his first wife, that he had 2 biological children. Altair had no idea. He was literally stunned at that news that he did. He could keep a secret.
We only got about 3 minutes left. What's really important you want the audience to know?
About this guy, I think he's the Occam's razor solution to who D.B. Cooper was, which is a theory that says the path of the least assumptions, and that is Ted Braden. He had all the skills. He would have been that calm during that flight. There's a whole lot of other things I explained in the book too as well. That will pretty much convince you that he is the hands-on favorite to have been the man that jumped out of that plane. And I will tell you, with Ted Braden, it was all about the money. He wanted to use the skills and that Uncle Sam taught him. And there's a letter called D.B. Cooper number 6. The other D.B. Cooper letters are really nonsense. There's only 2 of length, and I'll read this one real quick. And it was sent to the Portland Oregonian newspaper on March 28, 1972. It says, "Gentlemen, this letter is to let you know I am not dead, but really alive and just back from the Bahamas. So your silly troopers up there can stop looking for me. That is just how dumb this government is. I like your articles about me, but you can stop them now. D.B. Cooper is not real. I had to do something with the experience Uncle taught me. So here I am, a very rich man. Uncle gave too much of it to world idiots and no work for me. I had to do it to relieve myself of frustration. I went out of the system and saw a way through good old Unc, UNK. Now you know I am going around the world, and they will never find me because I am smarter than the system's lackey cops and lame duck leaders. Now it's Uncle's turn to weep and pay one of its own some cash for a change. And please tell the lackey cops, D.B. Cooper is not my real name. Sincerely, a rich man." There's a reason that letter sticks out. First of all, it was never D.B. Cooper. That was a media screw-up. When he bought the ticket, he bought it under the name Dan Cooper. The first correspondences ever received from people claiming to be D.B. Cooper signed the letters D.B. Cooper. This is the only letter signed by a different name. He just says a rich man. And if you read what Braden wrote in Ramparts versus this letter, you can see that it was Ted Braden behind it, because shortening Uncle Sam to Unc and Sam, well, that's what he does in Ramparts. He says, this is from Ted Braden in Ramparts, "It's too bad Strasner, Rojas, and Samoas are in so tight with Sam in quotations. Otherwise, they would pay well. I'd like to go back to the Congo, but I don't think they'll let me. Too bad, because the anti-Motubu boys are making a bundle." I can tell you Ted Braden wrote this D.B. Cooper letter, 100%.
Drew Hurst Beeson, you're doing great work here, man. Okay, and if a guy can recite this stuff from memory, there's a lot of detail in his book. So I got to recommend it. Paratrooper of Fortune: The Story of Ted B. Braden, Vietnam Commando, CIA Operative, Congo Mercenary, and Just Maybe D.B. Cooper, written by Drew Hurst Beeson. He has a YouTube channel by the same name, and his website with all the books is drewbeesonbooks.com. Mr. Beeson, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed. Enjoyed it.
And now a word from our sponsors. OppermanReport.com. Hey, do you like what you're hearing? Do you like the work that you see us doing here at Opperman Report? You can support that work by becoming a member at OppermanReport.com. And as you have access to over 200 exclusive shows and interviews that you can't find on YouTube or Spreaker or iHeart or iTunes or KYAH. You can't find them anywhere else online, exclusive to our member sections, to our members. Also, too, there's images, videos, documents, court docs. And don't forget, you can hear your ad played here on the Opperman Report, reach hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people on a daily basis because the show is repeated every day all over the world. Contact me at operatreport@gmail.com and I'll give you a good deal on advertising rates.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
The Opperman Report is brought to you by Aquadam.net. You can give them a call at 707-764-2119. A flooded home is never easy to deal with. You're left with the mess to clean up, the insurance companies to deal with, and not to mention all the memories, the precious memories that are lost in the flood. You can never replace those. And Aquadam can be a tool in your arsenal to protect your home and property from the floodwaters. The cofferdam is filled with water to control water and is reusable as long as it's taken care of. It can protect your home or business from rising floodwaters like a dam, but without the beavers. It can also be used in construction. If you need an area to be dewatered, an Aquadam can do the job. An Aquadam was used at SeaWorld in Orlando for the Mako roller coaster ride during the coaster's construction by dewatering the work area. An Aquadam is now dewatering the work area at San Antonio SeaWorld for their newest roller coaster ride. An Aquadam has been used in many construction projects all around the U.S. and all around the world. Now give Aquadam a call, 707-764-2119. You can look them up online at aquadam.net. You can find them on Facebook at Aquadam Inc. You call them up, you email them, you tell them Ed Opperman sent you, and they're going to take 10% off the price. Aquadam.net, 707-764-2119.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. PureSoapFlakes.com. 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with pure soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525. 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flight Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and